All right, chat. Let's see if I can do this in one take. I don't know if this is going to be part of the weekly vlog or if I'm going to upload this on its own, but I haven't done a video in a minute and I'm listening to a lot of other people's content and I just want to kind of reiterate a lot of what I'm hearing because I agree with it. Listening to like Pokey Profit or who I'd love to do a live stream with, or Alex again, just looking at investments that are available right now and kind of like shining a light on some of the things that I think are good opportunities. Um, I realize sometimes I don't always put this information out as it's happening. Um, Even though I'm listening to everyone's live streams every week and I agree with a lot of it, but I think maybe my perspective, maybe chiming in when I agree, might help some people. Um, Again, been doing this for a long time, guys. I've the only era that I stepped away from Pokemon was XY. I've seen every other era of Pokemon since the beginning. High level, judge, competitor, collector, investor, all that, yada yada yada. I feel like I have a good idea and a good strategy that I employ to um, in order to employ to be successful, to hit your personal goals. So like my personal goals are, building retirement wealth and wealth for my family to, I'll probably never actually retire from my day job. I actually like it. But it's one of those things where, if I don't use the money, my kids will use the money someday. It's whatever. I believe if you have the ability to do that and not wasting your potential, like why would I ignore something that I'm good at? I Not everyone can do this. If you're out there and you're listening, you have to remember that too. If you have any idea about Pokemon booster boxes, top species, sets, collecting, you have some inside knowledge that the majority of the population does not have. So you should utilize that to your advantage. It's kind of funny. I got a graded card order. I got my PSA grades the other day, and I was talking to my wife about like I was like, oh, I got 310s. I went on eBay when Phantasmal Flames came out, and I bought three of the good SIR Charizards that I found that I won good auctions on. Well centered, really took a look at the high quality images, bought three raw copies, kind of expressed them into PSA, one of the, not the highest tier, but one of the express tiers of grading, just got the grades back, got 310s. So I was super excited, obviously, and I'm like, oh man, like that's like $6,000. And she just looked at me and she was like, I wish I could do that. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She's like, I just wish I could do that. And it occurred to me that like this is a skill that if you're listening to this video, not everyone has, and not everyone has the ability to just turn one thing into another thing and see, and realize gains out of that. Like it's kind of a unique opportunity that we all have for our knowledge of Pokemon. So that also goes into a little bit of like when I talk about where do you like what am I going to do with that capital? I'm going to put it right back into sealed product because that was a short term risky maneuver, so to speak. I mean, yeah, I know what I'm doing as far as grading goes, but risky in the sense that it could have went the other way too. Like I could have broke even. Like it's not a guaranteed thing, whereas I feel sealed product is more of a guaranteed thing. So what I do is I'm going to utilize those profits and put them into something that is more of a guaranteed thing, which is, in my opinion, sealed product. So personally, I'm not about to buy what I'm about to show you because I already have my positions, with the exception of one item, but I'm not going to get that item. I'm going to get a different item instead, and I'll explain. So let me go in and show you guys here a little bit about what I'm seeing. So, all right. So first thing I'd want to point out is if you actually went back and looked at a couple videos ago, I did an example of what, like go back and watch the video. Like, subscribe, by the way, if you haven't already. It helps the channel. I would appreciate it. But I actually went and did a video where I um, did a theoretical if you bought 5 boxes of every set in Scarlet Violet starting at the beginning. And I would just like to point out that in the last 7 days, this investment is up $1,500 without me doing anything. I haven't added any more product to this investment. I haven't sold. I haven't bought. and I might do a casual update on this as time goes on. I'm going to leave it, I'll add new sets when new sets come out, but we're going to keep this as a rolling trend throughout my videos to see what your theoretical investment would be up to if you stopped, if you just acted now. Dan always says the best time to plant a tree is today, or the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago. The second best time is today. So, no, you can't go back and get all these sets at this price, but if you started today, 3 years from now, you could have every set moving today onward if you utilize this strategy. So I would just like to point that out, that in the last 7 days, without me doing anything, the investment is already up. Like, you can track the gains. So, but what I'd like to go over today is what I see as like the best opportunities out there right now. Now, Black Bolt is number one far and away. My Black Bolt and Ascended Heroes are my two favorite pickups at the moment. If you can, ideally, if you can find sealed cases of Black Bolt, sealed cases of ETBs, that would be my number one go-to at the moment. Due to the age of the product, the what I feel is going to be the scarcity of the sealed ETB. They did not do a reprint. They are not going to do a reprint, and these got ripped to shreds by streamers. Nobody believed in this set. Nobody wanted to hold it. I personally did that same thing for space issues more than anything. I ripped all my Black Bolt that I got from my distributor. I didn't pick up any more. I hold no cases of Black Bolt at the moment, so not pumping anything. If I wish I didn't have space issues at the time, but on the other hand, I really didn't have a choice because I mean I could have went back and bought more sealed cases um to store away, but like keeping what my distributor gave me wasn't an option at the I needed all the packs for my streams. So I opened my Black Bolt and my White Flare. But for reasons everybody has already said, that's gone over multiple times, but I'll do it again anyway. If we just go into, let's just hang on. Let me go into the singles for Black Bolt really quick. I'll just go rarity, illustration, special, and I want to grab the black white rare. I think that's what I'm going for. Yeah, is that going to grab me the chromatic? Let's see, price high low. Yeah, cool. So this set has a ton of inherent value in the set with the Victini and the Zekrom, as well as the Zekrom SIR. But what this set has that White Flare doesn't is the Palpitoad. And then of course you have some of the other SIRs and IRs capping in it between $30 and $50 a piece. So this set actually has a great amount of value for the price of the ETB, and I believe it's going to stay that way. I would pick up Black Bolt over White Flare, but White Flare is not a bad choice either. You have that's the same top three. It's just you don't have the Seismitoad. I mean, obviously you're going to have the Reshiram instead of the Zekrom, but you basically get the same top three. This set does have N. I will say that also. People kind of overlook that. N is a favorite character, so this N card might do something in the future. This is a really good picture of N, and I know there's a lot of N fans out there. So I personally like the Haxorus card. That's probably my favorite from the set. But I like Haxorus, so I like the dragon types. Anyway, so that's Black Bolt, obvious pickup. And then White Flare I had also. If you can, they're hovering around $100 in ETB right now. Again, if you can find sealed cases, you could probably find sealed cases of White Flare than Black Bolt, probably in the 1,000 to 1,100, 1,200 range. If you can find them on eBay, there's none on TCG Player at the moment. I would scoop them at an auction, even if you have to pay up a little bit for them, and even if you get a position like you're just trying to look to get a position of like 5 ETB cases. I see this ETB as being a $200 to $250 ETB within a year or two. So you're looking at a year or two double up, in my opinion. Again, this is not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. The other pickup that might seem obvious, but I'm still going to say it, is Prismatic Evolutions. And not just, all right, so two things. Prismatic Evolutions, obviously, again, if you can get the sealed ETB cases, that would be preferable to individual ETBs, but I think the ETBs are coming up on 200 a piece right now. Guys, we are we are not even over a year into these. These things got printed into the ground, and they're still $200 in ETB. What do you think these are going to be in 2 years? 400? I mean, what's a 151 ETB? 400? You can't see these getting to the 151 status with as popular as EV is. It's the only set ever printed in history that has all the evolutions. Actually, that is not true. Majestic Dawn, I believe. No, that just has Glaceon. One of the EX era sets had all the evolution cards in it. Sandstorm comes close, but it doesn't have. One of the sets has, I believe it might be Arceus. One of the sets has all the evolution cards in it. I forget which one it is. But aside from that, this is the only like real themed EV set that has all the EVs in it. It has God packs in it. The chase is real. Don't pick this up at your own demise. That's what I'll say. If you don't believe in this long term, I don't know what you're doing in Pokemon. Um, and then I'm going to continue to call out. Oh, by the way, I was going to say for Prismatic, I still think the Pokemon Center ETBs are a pickup. They're about 450 right now. If you look at what the 151 Pokemon Center ETB is doing, that Snorlax is part of the reason it's carrying it. This people love Snorlax. It's an exclusive stamp PC ETB Snorlax promo. Prismatic Evolutions has another caveat that most people don't realize. It was the first set you could not guaranteed a sealed case. I believe that's going to have some bearing. If you can get a sealed case of Pokemon Center Prismatic ETBs, dude, pick that up. But if you can't, even the regular ones, I easily could see those going to 800 in ETB within a few years for the Pokemon Center ones. So if you can pick those up, that's the stamped Eevee promo. It's a stamped Pokemon Center Eevee promo inside. That in a 10 is going to carry a chase. People were going to rip the trying to just get those as gradable for 10 copies. So it has an extra level of deflationary value in that not only will people open the ETBs, people will have a reason to open the Pokemon Center ETBs. If the grading play is there for the desired promo in a 10, they will rip the product just to try and chase that 10 if it gets high enough. So keep that in mind. I believe even at 400, those are a pickup. I have 4 of them. I don't want any more. I usually shoot for 4 of every Pokemon Center ETB. I got my 4. I'm moving on. I still think there's some value there, though. I still think you have a chance to. So, like, I try and point out stuff that I think has at least a chance in double ups or close to within the next few years. I can't predict past that. I mean, I have no idea if Surging Sparks, for instance, is going to be $1,000 booster box. I have no freaking clue. But I do think this is the most underpriced booster box currently on the market. That's a half box. Where do we get the actual? So here we go. So it's at 265. If you actually look at the products right now that are out, the available booster boxes, date added. Let's go date added, oldest first. Like if you look at the booster box cases right now, Surging Sparks at 1600, it's such a good buy. Like the only other thing that's even close right now is Temporal and Stellar. Paradox. Like you're competing with arguably the 3 weakest sets in the era. I personally still like Temporal. I think that's going to catch on at some point. But Stellar and Paradox are arguably the 2 weakest sets in the era. And you're competing with that with one of, in my opinion, the strongest sets in the era. The lineup on Surging is great. The single card lineup on Surging is great. The only thing holding this down at the moment is the fact that it got a slight booster box reprint hitting vending machines. So the boxes, but if you listen to PokeProfit, the sell-through rate on Surging Sparks is insane. It's something like 30 boxes a day or something. It's almost more than every other booster box together. And you're paying $200 more than Journey for a case. Like if you can't see this case being similar, like Twilight's already at 2,000, and that's not even that strong of a set. But like Obsidian's a $2,000 case, Evolving is like almost a $3,000 case. Like the more and more and more this set gets opened, like Phantasmal is going to be a $2,000 case. Like I just think Surging Sparks right now at 250 a box is if you can find sealed cases and you want to get individual boxes, that's not a bad idea either. I prefer sealed cases when possible at all times, even if you have to pay up a couple $100 for the case premium. It's just a more desirable item. It's easier to sell. You could ship single cases to like Probstein or DC Sports or any of the consignment services, Green Shish, and they will. It's just easier to package 4 cases in a big box and sell those and run them as 4 items. You get a higher return because it's a higher sale. Like selling 1 case, the sale price is going to be higher, so you're only going to pay 4 or 5% as opposed to like if it's an under $1,000 item, you're going to pay a higher percentage when you go to sell it. So there's just a lot of advantages to having a sealed case. So I would pick those up if possible when you see them. over sealed individual boxes. So just a quick video, and again, I don't know if I'm going to include this in on the vlog for the week, or if I'm just going to do it as a standalone video. I might just upload it as a standalone quick 15-minute video. As my pickups right now that I see as glaringly obvious in the era. If you want to grab some, that would be great. Good for you. Awesome. I'm not pressuring you to buy anything. Go buy whatever you want. But I'm going to take I don't really like. I'm gonna obviously the profits I made from those graded card plays I just told you about. They're gonna go into the account, and fees. Like the account gets used for what the account gets used for. But just between you and me, I'm gonna look to pick up. Oh, I forgot to go over Ascended Heroes. Duh. I'm sorry, I forgot to have the tab open. Ascended Heroes is the most obvious play right now at $100 in ETB, 1,200 a case. You should be stacking your Ascended Heroes cases. They might go down between now and another year if they get a reprint, but that is the most obvious set right now at 100 in ETB. If every other special set in the era is like 250, 300 in ETB within 2 years, it's going to do the same thing. It's the coolest stacked set, and it has God packs. So I would be picking up those as many as you can. That's probably what I'm going to do with the profits from that. I have currently 14 Ascended cases. I want 20, so that's probably what I'm going to do is finish off my position in Ascending and move on from there. I hope this video has been helpful in some way. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys back soon. Echobase Collectables signing out.